I didn't even know this song. What song is it?
It's a little Coldplay.
Ah.
Cause you're a sky.
What does it have to do with procrastination?
You're a sky full of stars. It doesn't matter. You my heart. I feel like I should propose. Okay. This is what I get motivated to. I used to play this in the gym all the time.
Is it on your gym playlist?
Yep, it is.
Okay.
Well, actually, not so much the weights one, but on the bicycle.
Okay.
I'd be pumping away at this because it kind of builds up. Have we had enough?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't turn it off. Okay. Welcome. It is Monday night, and that means time for Kim's Top 5. We're not mucking around tonight. We're serious because we're motivated. What's our topic? I can't remember what the topic is.
Procrastination.
Oh, procrastination. Oh.
Do you procrastinate?
What? No. So tonight, welcome. It is Kim's Top 5 for procrastination. We don't actually want you to procrastinate. It's actually the opposite of that. But if you're suffering procrastination, we've talked about constipation, now we're procrastination. So it's good to be here with you.
Hi guys.
Hey guys. So let's get started. Let's stop procrastinating. Alrighty.
So
where are we going?
Basically, procrastination is where you habitually put something off. So it's not just like once in a while.
Yep.
You consistently put things off. So you have a to-do list, and your to-do list gets bigger rather than smaller.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. When I was doing year 12, I majored in tidying my room, practicing my guitar, going for a walk because I didn't want to spend all my time studying. I don't think I spent any time studying. Yeah, so it was all procrastination. Yeah. I
do that. I often clean. You'll notice that if you get home and I've unloaded the dishwasher and I've baked and I've cleaned the office, then obviously I'm procrastinating about doing something really, really important.
And here was I thinking you were just doing the housework. Wow.
No, it usually means that I've put off doing something important.
Yep. Okay, so what do we do about it? Because procrastinate, it's not an unusual issue, and it's something that I think we all struggle with. I've got a couple of things to say about it, but one of the things which is important is that it's not lazy people who procrastinate usually, is it?
Well, I don't think you'd ever call me lazy, but I definitely do procrastinate.
Yep. In fact, it's characterized by people who have very high expectations of themselves. They're often the ones who procrastinate the most. So there's a lot of stuff that we can unpack in that. But talk us through. What are you thinking?
Well, I think for me, I thrive under high levels of stress. I need it to get to the last possible second in order to really, because I don't know, I thrive on that feeling of like being stressed. And you often say to me that I operate in that quadrant which is important and urgent rather than important and not urgent and whatever the other. I don't even know what the other three quadrants are.
7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Yep. Urgent and important that's the crisis quadrant.
Yeah, and I operate in that all the time.
Yep, you do. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, well, because I procrastinate until it's urgent and then I get it done. And, it's that feeling of, oh my God, I've got to do it. And I'm so stressed.
So just to prove that we're not the only ones who struggle with this, send us a comment and just say, what is it that you procrastinate about? If that's an issue for you, we'd love to have that discussion.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so what do we do about it? We all procrastinate. How do we get through it? What are some answers? So
I guess there are a few steps, and Jeremy's going to talk about some steps from the lady from the 5-second rule, but I'm going to talk about my steps that I do.
Okay.
The first thing is to forgive yourself, right? So my number 5 oil is forgiveness. If you beat yourself up, you'll procrastinate more. So use forgiveness oil. I put forgiveness oil in the diffuser, but one way that I particularly like to use it is in tapping, which I'm going to show you some tapping tonight, some emotional freedom technique. But putting forgiveness on, and I forgive all those who've wronged against me, like some kind of affirmation. And because the reality is that you don't have to forget. We're not here to say that you have to forget that something's happening, but to forgive. So forgive yourself, because we're our worst critic. So stop beating yourself up and forgive.
And we were talking before about emotional constipation, and forgiveness is the laxative that fixes emotional constipation. It's hard to get past it. So step number 1, yep, love it, forgive.
All right, the next thing is to actually commit to doing it, okay? Doing, not avoiding. A lot of us avoid stuff. So write down the tasks. What I do is I have an app on my phone, but that means that then I have to go into the app and look it up and
check Facebook.
Yeah.
Post on
so
Instagram.
I'm actually much better with, I have like big bits of butcher's paper and I write the things down. So when Jeremy first moved in here to our house, you would remember that I had big pieces of butcher's paper written on my walls, right? Because that way I'm looking at it every time I walk into the bedroom. And so you can even have 3 columns on your butcher's paper and write on post-it notes so that you write your to-do list. And so the things on the left-hand side of your to-do list, the things in the middle column are doing and the things on the right column are done. So you have that sense of achievement. And as a rule, never have more than 3 things in the doing column at any one time. So you literally move the post-it note. So if the post-it note says schedule a class or ring someone or, pay a bill or whatever, you have those on the left-hand side, you move it to the middle column, which is the doing column, and then when it's done, you move it to the right-hand side. And then you can move another thing from the left-hand column. So you go through every day and prioritize and do your top 3 first, okay? The absolute urgent important things that you're gonna do, you're going to do those 3 things first. And move them to the middle column, and then once they're done, you move them along. And so I guess that brings me to another one of my points, which is to chunk it down, okay? There's no use having a to-do list that has 100 things on it that you're never going to do. So that's where, do the important things. But the other thing that we tend to do is it might be, in our case, write a book. We have that kind of thing on our to-do list. But you might need to break it down to write chapter 1 of the book, write chapter 2, chapter 3, so that then you have some kind of sense of achievement. Give yourself a reward. So when you actually achieve the things in the done column, you can give yourself a reward. So for us, we might go out to dinner or buy an Aria diffuser.
Or just eat chocolate.
Or rose oil. Give yourself a reward.
Can I just say with that?
Yes.
If you've ever read any Dickens, like as an English teacher, Charles Dickens, great English novelist, he wrote these massive big fat books, but you know how he wrote it? They were serialized each week. So he wrote a chapter a week and it was published in the newspaper. So and he got paid by the word, that's why the books were so big, but he broke it down. So it was that what you do in a day, what you do in a week, adds up to a bloody big book.
Yeah. So that just helps. The next thing is to get an accountability partner. So, if you're in business, find someone else who's in the same kind of business or in your team or whatever, set goals together and then challenge each other to accept it and check in with each other. How are you doing those things that you said you were going to do? So if it is schedule 3 classes a week or whatever, check in with them. How did you go? Did you do your 3? Oh no, I did 4 this week or whatever. It's like exercise, if you're procrastinating about getting fit or losing weight, find an accountability partner, someone to walk with, someone, that you can check in with and share healthy food, all that kind of stuff. The next thing is to minimize distractions. Stop, like Jeremy talked before about if I go onto my app to check my to-do list, I go via Facebook and Instagram and Pinterest and all those things. So turn off your email notifications when you're working and your social media. Like if I'm working on writing a book or anything like that, I close down all my internet things so that I'm not getting those notifications to tell me that people are Facebooking me. Many of you know that at home I don't have any mobile reception, so if I turn the internet off, you can't ring me anyway, and that way I'm able to get things done. So minimize those distractions. And the next thing is to actually try something like tapping, okay? So I don't know whether any of you guys have done some tapping or emotional freedom work, but tapping is a really, really useful skill. And I'm going to show you when we get to my number 1 oil how I do tapping. So
I think it was popularized by Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, I think was the...
That's the wrong kind of tapping, Jeremy.
It's a great kind of tapping.
So tapping actually works.
I tried tap dancing once.
It's from, I'm sure you did.
I fell into the sink and sprained my ankle, sorry.
Where did you get these from?
Dad joke, yeah.
So tapping basically comes from the Chinese, and it's similar to acupuncture and acupressure. And it says that there are various meridian points in your body, and that by tapping on them instead of using needles, you're actually stimulating that area. And then when you link it with an affirmation, it helps to embed that and, to break down any barriers or challenges that you may have. So we'll talk a little bit about tapping when I get to my number 1 oil.
Okay, wow. So we're still up to number 5, aren't we?
Oh, we've done number 5, which was forgiveness.
Forgiveness,
okay?
yeah.
So
Okay.
using, forgiveness.
Tapping would be effective if there was someone that you didn't like, you could tap on them with and use the needles.
Jeremy.
I know.
Okay.
That was just SOS.
Just got to check which one I'm doing as number 4.
Okay, so number 5
was forgiveness.
Yeah, number 4.
Number 4 is acceptance, okay? So in order to move forward, we actually need to be willing to accept the changes in our life. Many of us we procrastinate because we have this fear, and there's 2 fears that you can have. One is of failure. So if we don't do it, then we won't fail, okay? Like, it's just, why would we want to step outside our comfort zone? Because we might fail. And so often we procrastinate because we're scared of failure. And the other reason we don't do it is because we're scared of success. Because if we're successful, then we'll get more stress and more things put on us, and people will expect more from us. And so, sorry, I'm really itchy. I don't know why tonight.
I'll just tap on it. Oh, sorry.
So basically diffusing acceptance. I actually diffuse it with a bit of abundance as well, so that then you get an abundance of energy to move forward and achieve your goals, and you're able to accept all that comes your way. Okay, so that's acceptance.
This is very deep. We're getting to the heart of the emotions tonight, aren't we?
These are all emotional oils, basically.
Yep. So number 4, acceptance.
Number 4 is magnify your
Number
purpose.
3.
Oh, sorry, number 3. If you don't know where you're going or why you're doing it, then you're not going to do it, right? If you've got a million things on your to-do list and none of them are really moving you forward to achieving your goals, then it's very unlikely that you're going to do it. Whereas if you have done some vision work, and you're really clear about where it is you're going, which brings me to my next oil, which is envision. So I use envision and I diffuse it so that I know where I'm going. So I have a big vision board with all the things that I want to achieve on it, and I diffuse envision, or I put it in a roller bottle and roll it on, so that I'm very, very clear on where it is I'm going. So whenever Young Living releases a trip or an incentive or anything like that, goes on the vision board, and I'm very clear. I break it down into steps. Like anyone who's seen my, once again,
Chunk it down.
I chunk it down, right? I really do. I have a very clear action plan. So for me, getting to platinum, getting to Disneyland, all of those things, I put them on the vision board, okay? And I use the Envision oil, and then I develop my action plan. So I write up, exactly what I need to do. So if I need to bring 100 people into my business, then, I look at who I can help to help them achieve their goals. Who can I help to get up rank to star, to senior star, to executive, to silver, and to gold, and to platinum, all of those ranks, because that's going to help me. And I draw it up on butcher's paper. And some of you who've been to my house recently will see I've got it on butcher's paper. I've got them in circles. I know where I need everything. So in order to achieve my goals, because you've got to have that action plan. Otherwise you'll procrastinate and you just won't get along to doing it. So Envision oil for the visioning. Magnify your purpose, so you know what your purpose is. For me, I know where I'm going, I know my why, and I use Magnify Your Purpose to overcome that procrastination. Okay?
Alrighty, so we're up to number
1.
Number 1.
Okay, so this is
TBO, the big one.
You can use any of these emotional oils for tapping or emotional freedom technique, but tonight I'm going to show it to you with motivation oil. Okay.
Love it.
And so I'm going to take
that smells good already.
Drop or 2 of motivation oil, and I'm going to put it in my palm of my hand. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and put that oil onto the tips of my fingers, okay? Right.
Am I doing this too?
Yeah.
Okay.
And do this at home, okay? Because the best way to learn tapping is to actually, try it out yourself and do it, okay?
Love it.
So what you want, I'm going to show you a really simple, quick one to do first, and then we're going to do another one, okay? So you can repeat after me. We might put these words into the post so that you've got the words if you want to try tapping at home, okay? So the first place we're going to tap is what we call the karate chop. So, you know, that chopping point. So on here, okay? So you're just going to use the fingers of your tips of your fingers.
Oh,
Okay, and you're going to repeat these statements. You would normally do it 3 times, okay? In order to not bore you silly tonight, we're not going to do it 3 times. And also because one of my children is here laying on the floor waiting for me to read her a story. So we have to make tonight really quick. But while tapping, so we're going to say, even though I can't get motivated.
Even though I can't get motivated.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love myself.
Love and accept. But
Oh,
anyway,
and
it doesn't
I
matter.
accept
That's
myself.
okay.
Yep, sorry.
Even though I don't feel like doing anything.
Even though I don't feel like doing anything.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I'm just not motivated.
Even though I'm just not motivated.
I choose to do it now.
I choose to do it now.
Okay, and then you would repeat that 3 times with the tapping, okay? That's a really, really simple way to start with tapping. And there's heaps of research on the internet around emotional freedom technique, okay? I'm definitely not an expert. I have done like a, one afternoon kind of course in this stuff, but it's something that I've used a lot, and especially it's enhanced by using the essential oils, okay? I learned from a lady called Pamela Lund, who I also used to run menopause workshops with, and she was the first person who suggested to me to do tapping. So basically it's just that kind of motion on that part of your hand. So you're really just stimulating the meridian points instead of using needles, okay?
Do you know what's really weird? Like I'm feeling that all down my body. So
tapping is amazing.
Okay.
All right, so if you want to get into...
A little hippie woo-woo, but I'm going with it.
If you want to get into a more in-depth one, you want to focus on the feelings, okay? And it's about challenging the feelings that you're feeling about procrastination, okay? So what you want to do is tap. So we start on the eyebrow, okay? I am not motivated.
I am not motivated.
And then we go to the side. I don't feel like doing it.
I don't feel like doing it. Oh, I'm on the wrong side.
I just can't seem to get started.
I just can't
So
seem
under
to
the
get
eye,
started. Oh.
then on the side of the nose, I am resisting getting started.
I'm resisting getting started.
And you know what? It doesn't really matter what your affirmations are. You don't have to do these exactly. But if procrastination is your issue, or maybe it's exercise. So I'm not motivated to exercise. I don't feel like doing exercise. So you could add in those words, okay? So then we go to the chin, and it's I don't know what to do, so I put it off till later.
I don't know what to do, so I put it off till later.
And then the collarbone, I'm a little tired, so I'll wait till later.
I'm a little tired, so I'll wait till later.
Under your arm, I don't feel motivated.
I don't feel motivated.
Top of the head, I'm tired of thinking about this.
I'm tired of thinking about this.
Eyebrow, I don't want to get it going.
I don't want to get it going.
Side of the eye, yes, I do want to get it going.
Yes, I do want to get it going.
I'm feeling unmotivated.
I'm feeling unmotivated.
Releasing the habit of putting things off.
Releasing the habit of putting things off.
Letting go of the unmotivation.
Letting go of the unmotivation.
I'm releasing the unmotivation.
Releasing the unmotivation.
Letting go of the unmotivation.
Letting go of the unmotivation.
Release and let go of the unmotivation.
Release and let go of the unmotivation.
So that's as simple as tapping is. And you can use, we could have used release oil for that. Say we wanted to do forgiveness. So we just change the affirmations, okay? I let go and forgive, I forgive. So you start on the eyebrow. I forgive all those that have harmed me or hurt me or whatever it is. I won't forget, but I forgive. You change the affirmations, okay? There's plenty of affirmations that you can, if you Google, emotional freedom technique, you'll find lots and lots of information online about, how it works and all of that kind of stuff. So,
can I just say, coming from a science background, first impression is it's all a bit hippie woo-woo, But there's actually powerful science and neuroscience behind this stuff. I just want to say that I've actually done the research. So
I told him we were going to do tapping tonight, and he's like, "What?"
There's power in speaking stuff out. There's power in changing your patterns. It's all good stuff. So thanks for that.
So I just want to tell you, I call motivation oil the but oil, right? It's when you go, "Oh, I know I've got to do this, but." It's for those people out there who have got a million excuses, okay? So the excuses are sometimes, I can't build a business because, I don't know enough people, or
I couldn't do it like Kim does.
That's right. I couldn't teach a class like Kim does. I'm not an aromatherapist. There's a million and one excuses, and if that's you, motivation, okay? Because it helps with releasing that unworthiness emotion that we carry around with us, okay? You are worthy. Let me tell you now, you're very, very worthy. And motivation will help you, okay?
Awesome.
That's me. That's my top 5.
That was really good. Can we just quickly run back through them? So
Well, I
number
can't
5,
remember.
if you
So,
can remember what they were.
What did we make it?
Number
5 was acceptance.
Number
Oh, no,
4.
sorry. Number 5 was forgiveness. We're
Start
going to
with
forgive
forgiveness,
ourselves for procrastinating. Okay?
Start with forgiveness.
Forgiveness,
Number 4.
yeah. Number 4 was acceptance.
Yep.
Okay. Number
3.
3 was magnify your purpose. Know where you're going and what you're doing and why.
Yep. Number 2.
Number 2 is envision. Being able to envision what your life will be like if you start doing the things that you need to get done. And number 1 is motivation. Overcoming the but. All right?
Awesome.
And doing all, you can use all of those for that tapping stuff that I just showed you.
I love it. Thank you so much. A quick one from me before I get to my number 1. A great book about all this stuff, 5-Second Rule it's called, by Mel Robbins. Easy read, so practical, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, take action. Again, lots of neuroscience, fits in exactly with what Kim's talking about. Combine that with the oils, magical. But my top 1, if I can just find it here.
Oops.
Just threw it away. Now, you know what it's going to be because it's the same every week. But here's the thing about affirmations, and I want to talk to the guys in particular, because guys, we need to step up sometimes and be the men that we're supposed to be and that we want to be and that our partners need us to be. So here's a little affirmation for you blokes, okay? Number 1 is show some acceptance. Accept that you're amazing just as you are. Forgive yourself when you fall short of your expectations, but envision who you want to be and where you want to get to, because that just sets the goal in the right direction. Then magnify your purpose. Focus your efforts. I was thinking the magnifying glass. Focus your efforts. Concentrate your energies where they're most effective, and then be the man that you're meant to be. It's what you want. It's what your partner wants and what she or he needs you to be. So, and Shutran, I love it. And it just ties all that together so neatly. There you go.
So that's us. And next week we're going to talk even more about emotional oils with the beautiful Kim Ellis. Sorry, we kind of messed up this week and she couldn't be with us. But she'll be joining us next week. So it'll be 2 Kim's top 5s.
That was very deep tonight.
It was very deep. Not that deep.
It
Not
was.
emotional deep. But anyway, that's us. See you guys.
Let us know what you think down below, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Bye.
See ya.